Alright guys, so today we are going to be doing CHING number 42. So I'm really excited about this CHING. There's going to be some of the items that Eric and I recently got at the last auction that we went to in this CHING. So we're just going to get started with where I left off, and then at the end of the video I'll discuss any kind of issues or just things that have arisen while selling on eBay. So the first thing that I have is a Torrid tank top. This was a purple peplum style tank top that sold for $24.99. That tank top probably came from the thrift store. Next was a cardigan by a company called Beverly Drive that sold for $14.99. This came from one of the garbage bags full of clothes that I purchased off of Facebook Marketplace. I already totally made my money back from those 3 big garbage bags. I paid $25 for 3 garbage bags full of clothes, and I already made my money back, so everything that I sell from those bags is just 100% pure profit. Next was another piece of clothing. This was a cold shoulder top by Vintage America that sold for $13.99, and I think that one came from a fill-a-bag rummage sale. I sold a pair of polo shoes. These sold for $36.99. They were brand new. Eric and I actually found these in a storage unit that we had purchased. Side note, and we'll get to this at the end of the video, the person that purchased these wanted to return them, but we will discuss that towards the end of the video, so stick around for that one. It's interesting. Next we have a lot of 2 cross-stitch kits by, no, I'm ahead of myself. This was another cross-stitch kit that sold. This was just a regular cross-stitch kit. It was called New England Spring by a company called Janlin. That sold for $24.99, and I'm pretty sure that one came out of a box full of cross-stitch kits that Eric and I purchased at a yard sale. Was it last year? I think it was last year. Next we have another Torrid top. This one was a floral printed cold shoulder top. Again, came from the thrift store. That sold for $22.99. This was the lot of cross-stitch kits. It was a lot of 2, and they were both horse themed. One I know was Bernat. I'm not sure if the other one was or not. Anyway, that sold for $29.99. And again, I'm pretty sure those came from the same lot of cross-stitch kits that were in that box. I sold a lot of 3 vintage Snorks PVC figures for $14.50. These actually belonged to my aunt, so I do have a couple of things in this CHING that I am splitting profits with her from, and that was one of them. Same with the next thing. These were a lot of Masters of the Universe Panini stickers. Do you guys remember these? Do they still make these? They were the little stickers, and then you'd get like the sticker album, and you'd buy like the packs of stickers, but you didn't know what stickers were going to be in the pack. So it was kind of like the first really, like, I would say like blind mystery bags type thing, because you didn't know what stickers you were going to get, and you were trying to fill your sticker album. So these were some of the stickers. Those sold for $12.99, which is not bad, but again, those were my aunt's. The next item was a vintage Herself the Elf plush doll that sold for $32.99. So that was a great sale. I'm really starting to want to get into selling plush more. Obviously this was vintage and I knew that. I purchased this at a thrift store a while back, and I mean this was way back, because I'm pretty sure, I feel like my mom was still alive at the time, because I feel like I was at the thrift store with her when I purchased it. But Herself the Elf is from the 80s, and I had her in like my own kind of like vintage toy collection for a while, and then I just decided to pass her along to someone else. So that did sell really well though. Next was again another vintage item. This was a Star Fairies VHS cartoon tape movie. This was actually voiced by Drew Barrymore, and that sold for $18.99. I picked that up at the thrift store. I'm pretty sure I paid like 99 cents for it, and yeah, it's one of those instances of a VHS tape that's actually worth a little bit. Sometimes, you know, VHS tapes really aren't worth much, but there are some that can bring in some money, so that's not bad for a VHS tape, in my opinion. Next was another lot of kind of crafting kits. These were by a company called Wonder Art, and they had a print of geese and ribbons on. One was to make a table runner, and the other one was to make a towel or towels. Those sold for $18.99, and I got those at a yard sale, and I feel like I probably paid $1 a piece for those. I sold a Cacique nightgown. This was brand new with the tags for $29.99, and I purchased this at a yard sale. I think I might have paid $2 or $3 for it since it was new with tag. This next item was a vintage My Little Pony compact mirror. This went to a subscriber. It sold for $11.99, and this actually belonged to my aunt as well. I do have a couple of things that she gave me a long time ago that still haven't sold. This was one of them. She also had given me a vintage Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like plastic, like drink cup thing. I'm like my words today. So that hasn't sold yet. And then there was also like a vintage Poochie game that hadn't sold yet that she gave me like a while back. Next was an Avon ring that sold for $7.99. So not much there, but it was just in my, like with all of my jewelry, and I just never wore it. So got rid of that. Next we have a vintage Reba McEntire country shirt that sold for $29.99, and I got that at a yard sale. I got a whole bunch of vintage Reba McEntire t-shirts, and they are starting to sell. I feel like I've had them for a little while, like since last summer. I'm pretty sure I paid $1 for that. I sold a top by Bleecker and McDougall. It was a kind of had like a velour feel to it, floral print, very pretty. I liked the hem on the bottom of it. That came from the Facebook garbage bags. That sold for $14.99. I sold another piece of clothing. This was a tank top by a company called Solitaire. That sold for $12.99, and that probably came from a fill-a-bag rummage sale. Another piece of clothing was a men's Ralph Lauren polo. I really liked the colors on this. That sold for $14.99. Probably picked that up at a yard sale for like $1. This next item was a cast iron duck lantern. Eric won at an auction. Not the last time we were at an auction, but the time before that. I'm pretty sure he won this for like $6 or $8, and that sold for $69.99, and that did go overseas. Next was a pair of Victoria's Secret Muckluck slipper socks. Those sold for $18.99, and I got those, I believe, at a yard sale, so I probably paid like $1 for them. This next item was one of the jewelry pieces that was in that flat of jewelry I won at the auction. This was a blue swallow bird pin by a company called CC Sporing. That sold for $12.99, and I think, yeah, I paid $2 for the jewelry flat. These next two items went to the same person. I don't know if it was a subscriber or not. No one like sent me a message or anything about them. But the first was a vintage owl chalkware piggy bank by Napco, and that sold for $12.99. I had that for a long time. It had a lot of watchers, but nobody was bidding on it, or I should say purchasing it, because I had it on as a buy it now. I don't remember where I got that. I probably got it at a yard sale at some point. And then the other item they purchased was a Betty Boop Christmas ornament that sold for $10.99. I paid $1 for that. Well, Eric purchased them. at a yard sale, and they were $1, and we have more of those. He got like a bunch of them, so that was the first one that sold. The next item also went to a subscriber, and again, this was a piece of jewelry that was in that flat of jewelry that I won at the auction for $2. This one was the Carla Jordan necklace that I sold for $12.99. Alright, so the next item was that Charleston Sweetgrass basket that ended up selling for $390. I won this at the auction for $2. $2, and it sold for $390. I was not expecting that much for it. One of the reasons I think that it went so high was because the basket came with a little piece of like the tag to it, and the name of the weaver of the basket's name was Mary Jackson. And when I googled Mary Jackson, she's actually, you know, pretty famous for, you know, her basket weaving. Like if you Google her, you'll find like pages about her. I didn't have her name in the title, so there's always a possibility that I might have gotten more for it had I realized it was so desirable because of who made it. But I do not mind. I am so fine with the $390. That's amazing to me, considering I only paid $2 for it. So there were like two people really battling out for that basket. They both really wanted it. So that was just really exciting. Like, I'm the type of person, especially like when I have something up on auction and it just keeps like going up in price, like my immediate reaction isn't one of joy, it's of, oh gosh, are they gonna pay for it? Because that's the only problem with auctions, is that people will like jack the price up on something and then they won't pay for it. So, but this person really wanted that basket and they paid right away. So that was awesome. Next item was an Angry Birds plush that sold for $19.99. This also went overseas. I got that at the thrift store. I think I paid, I think it was in a bag full of other plush, so I probably paid $1.99 for the bag. This one, it was supposed to make sound when you like slammed it kind of thing, but the sound wasn't working anymore. And I remember when I did that haul video, I had let you guys know that even ones that don't make sound anymore still sell. So I don't know what it is with Angry Bird stuff, but some of it seems to sell pretty decently. Next was another Torrid item. This was a gray floral kind of romper that sold for $28.99. And again, that probably came from a thrift store. This next item also came from the last auction Eric and I went to. This was the David Stewart bird pottery that sold for $57. And I know I haven't written down here what I paid for that. Hold on. I paid $27 for, it was the bird, and then it was this other pottery bowl that I won with it. So that was an awesome sale. Next we have another item that I won at the auction. This was on, hold on, I haven't written down what I paid for it. This was on a flat of items I won for $22.50. This sold for $59.99. It was a little dish, and it was designed by someone named Stig Lindberg. It had a silver overlay on it. It was a really awesome dish. I didn't know anything about it. When I purchased the flat that it came on, I was only interested in the one item. So when I went to list everything that I won from the flat is when I did more research on each item, and I found out about this guy named Stig Lindberg, and his stuff sells so well. Like, some of his bigger pieces can sell for like thousands of dollars. So This one here, I do believe it went overseas. It didn't go through GSP. I think it was a freight forwarder that this got shipped to, but it was, you know, making its way overseas. But $59.99 for that, not too bad considering it was something that, you know, I didn't even know anything about and wasn't even really interested in it when I won the flat. I was interested in something else on the flat that didn't even sell yet. So that's awesome. And then the last thing for this cha-ching was just an Aeropostale tank top that sold for $5.99. I got it free from a Curb Alert, so I didn't pay anything for it, but Aeropostale stuff does not sell very well at all. I pretty much just sold that because I didn't pay anything for it. So that is all that I have for my cha-ching. So now I just kind of want to go over some things here at the end of the video. I'm listening for Eric to come home. I spent some of my stimulus money on an exercise bike because I need to lose weight. And he's bringing that home he's on his way to bring it home. Anyway, so things that I have to talk about. Those polo shoes that I showed earlier in the video, the person that purchased them wants to return them. I'm gonna pop up some pictures here I want you guys to chime in on this. They're saying the reason that they want to return these is because they say that the shoes are brown and not blue. I had them listed as blue and they're saying that they're brown. They were not brown. They are not brown. Not brown. I even asked Eric because sometimes I have a hard time with colors. And Eric's like, no, they're definitely blue. So I want you guys, when I post up these pictures, if you see brown or blue on these shoes. Anyway, so they want to return these shoes, which is whatever. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just buyer's remorse and they're just saying they're brown because they just want to send them back. What kind of got me about this whole thing, and this was a learning experience for me because we're always learning, we're always making mistakes and learning from them. So the learning mistake for this was the guy that purchased them, he sent me a message when he purchased them saying that I guess at some point I had sent out an offer. It was $4 off. And then the offer expired and he was wondering if he could still have them at the $4 off offering price that I had originally sent before it expired. And then he went on to say, you know, he lived in Texas and he went on to, you know, mention a little bit of, you know, all that crap that the people in Texas went through because of that ice storm and everything like that. And I felt for him and I was like, you know what, I'll refund him the $4. You know what I mean? Out of my generosity, I was like, I'll refund him his $4. So when I shipped his shoes, I went in and I refunded him. I gave him back $4 so he could have the shoes at that discounted price. So, you know, I did that out of the kindness of my heart. And, you know, he wants to return these now. And, you know, that's $4 that he's got back that, you know what I mean? That, I'm not gonna ever see again because it's not like I'm gonna get that $4 back. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where it's you try to do something nice for someone and then it just bites you in the butt anyway. So just one of those things. I did purchase the shipping label for them to ship them back. This was quite a few days ago and they still haven't shipped them yet. There have been times where someone has opened returns and I'd buy the shipping label and they never return the item. I mean, you do get refunded for that if they never do return the item, but it's still you know, sometimes people will just decide not to kind of thing. So I don't know. I mean, I still might get these returned to me, but in the same sense, maybe he was asking other people what color they saw. Maybe they're like, no, dude, they're blue, and then realize maybe he was mistaken or something like that. But regardless, those may or may not be returned to me. I'll let you guys know in another cha-ching. So Also, clothes are still selling like hotcakes for me. I mean, I sold a lot of clothes in this Cha-Ching. I sold a lot of clothes in my last Cha-Ching, and I'm still selling clothes. I just had a sale before I sat down to record this video, and it was a shirt. So definitely I feel like clothes are going pretty fast, and that's awesome because I feel like clothes sometimes sit for a while. And then the last thing I really had to talk about is the fact that we all know like the stimuluses have gone out. I know I got mine already. So people are looking to shop and spend some money. So I think that's also helping with sales. So hopefully you guys are seeing an uptick in sales as well. And that might be because people have some extra money to just blow on some stuff. Like I blew some of mine on an exercise bike, but I'm excited for it. So hopefully I can stick to it for a while. Last time I really went hardcore exercising and dieting, it was a contest at one of my old jobs. And I won because I'm pretty competitive and like there was money involved. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna win this. And I did, I won it. It was pretty awesome. But I feel like, you know, I'm just doing this for myself now kind of thing. Like there's no money involved. So I might have to put some money to it. Like if I can get to a certain goal, maybe, you know, I'll treat myself to something kind of thing. It's a lot of hard work, exercising and dieting and that kind of thing, especially when it's something that you don't really like to do. I mean, I love food. I absolutely love food, and I'm not necessarily lazy, but I do lack motivation when it comes to exercising. But riding bikes, and when I would go to the gym, I always liked getting on the bike. It was like my favorite piece of exercise equipment. So I feel like since it's something that I enjoy doing, maybe it won't be as bad. So we'll see. I'll let you guys know if you're interested how I'm doing a couple months from now, or if, you know, I'm just the same. We'll see. I just need some of that good motivation. But I hope you guys enjoyed this Cha-Ching. You'll have to let me know what you thought down in the comments, how things are going for you, and if you're noticing an uptick in sales because of maybe the stimulus monies. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time.